He was the strongest man who ever lived, a legend chosen by God to deliver his people. But what happens when the world's mightiest hero falls for the world's most deceitful woman? This is the epic, tragic story of Samson and Delilah. Samson's story begins before he was even born. An angel appeared to his parents, promising them a son who would be a Nazirite from birth, set apart for God. This meant he could never drink wine, touch a dead body, or cut his hair. In return, God would grant him supernatural strength. And boy, did he deliver. Samson grew up to be a one-man army. He once killed a lion with his bare hands. Another time, he single-handedly struck down 1,000 Philistine soldiers using only the jawbone of a donkey. He was a champion, a judge of Israel, and the Philistines' worst nightmare. They were the oppressive rulers of the time, and Samson was a constant thorn in their side. They were desperate to find his weakness, but Samson seemed invincible. Then, he met Delilah. The Bible tells us Samson fell deeply in love with a woman from the valley of Sorek. The Philistine rulers saw their chance. They went to Delilah and made her an offer she could hew and refuse. A fortune in silver if she could uncover the secret to Samson's incredible strength. This was more than just a simple betrayal. It was a high-stakes espionage mission. Driven by greed, Delilah agreed. She began a campaign of manipulation. 3 times, she sweetly asked Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued." 3 times, Samson played along, giving her false answers. First, he told her to tie him with 7 fresh boat strings. When the Philistines ambushed him, he snapped them like thread. Next, he said to use new ropes that had never been used. He broke those just as easily. Then, he told her to weave the 7 braids of his hair into a loom. When he woke up, he pulled the entire loom and its pin right out of the wall. Delilah was frustrated but relentless. She turned up the emotional pressure, nagging him day after day, saying, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me?" She wore him down until his soul was vexed to death. Finally, exhausted and emotionally broken, Samson gave in. He confessed everything. He told her he was a Nazirite, consecrated to God from birth. His long hair wasn't a magic charm. It was the symbol of his vow and his connection to God. If his head was shaved, his vow would be broken, his strength would leave him, and he would become as weak as any other man. He had just handed his greatest enemy the weapon to destroy him. While Samson slept on her lap, Delilah called in a Philistine to shave off his 7 braids. When he awoke, the Philistine shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He thought he could escape as before, but he didn't realize the Lord had left him. His strength was gone. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him to Gaza. The once mighty hero was now a blind slave, forced to grind grain in a prison. It was a humiliating downfall. The Philistines celebrated their victory, praising their god Dagon for delivering their enemy into their hands. But the story doesn't end there. As Samson toiled in prison, his hair began to grow back. The Philistines decided to have a massive festival in their temple to celebrate. They brought Samson out to entertain the jeering crowds. Blind and broken, Samson prayed one last time. He asked God for strength just once more to avenge himself for his 2 eyes. He had the guards place his hands on the 2 central pillars supporting the temple. With a final, desperate cry, "Let me die with the Philistines," he pushed with all his might. The temple collapsed, killing thousands of Philistines, including all their rulers. In his death, Samson killed more of his enemies than he had in his entire life. Samson's story is a powerful lesson about strength, weakness, temptation, and redemption. It shows how even the strongest can fall when they forget the source of their strength and compromise their integrity. But it also shows that even in our darkest moments of failure, it's never too late to turn back to God. Samson's final act was one of immense sacrifice and faith, securing his place as one of the great, though flawed, heroes of the Bible. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story powerful, please like, share, and subscribe for more incredible biblical truths.